Hey everyone, welcome. This is Unity Quest Podcast, a space where we delve into the diverse perspectives of individuals from various walks of life. I am your host, Cindy, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Today, we have the privilege of having here with us Dr. Renuka Thakore. She is not just a leader, she is a visionary paving the way for a sustainable future. With a formidable background in academia and a strong commitment to global collaboration, Dr. Renuka founded the Global Sustainable Futures Network, GSFN, in 2020. Her journey is nothing short of inspirational, marked by a wealth of accolades, including the prestigious Development Leadership Governor Enrique Tomas Cresto Award in 2022 and the Global SDGs Woman Ambassador Award in 2022, among others. We are beyond grateful to have recently partnered with GSFN, and now we have the privilege of hearing from her directly. Welcome, Dr. Renuka.
Thanks, Cindy. I'm very excited to be here with you, and especially I'm also, you know, as we have gone through the partnership, I'm looking forward to exchange my views here. Please carry on.
You're very much welcome, Dr. Renuka. So, Doctor, we all know about your deep passion in tackling climate crisis. From your current perspective, what do you see as the most critical climate change challenges that we face today?
Thank you. Thank you very much. 30, 40 years ago, we were not understanding what is climate change. And I believe that science has made it possible for us to understand what is climate change. But the critical is that we haven't been still able to make it possible for any common people, right, like world citizens, that their every activities are contributing to climate change. I think we haven't been able to communicate the granularity and severity of our activities, daily activities today. And that is the biggest challenge, I think, at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I do think so, Doctor. And about one of the innovative climate change pilot project in GSFN called Communities Carbon Calculator. Could you please tell us briefly about this project, Doctor?
Thank you, Cindy. And that is what I feel, as I mentioned just now, that each and everyone is not understanding the importance of climate change. And I feel that we need to take this issue of climate change and how people can contribute at the community level. And what I mean by community, so first of all, let me explain you what I mean by community. We can say it is a students' community, it is like a fisherman community or an farmer community or retail community and so on. So I mean that there is something common in this community. It is, and mainly I would say the activities that they do are common. Of course, as a world citizen, we have many activities which are common, like we eat food, we drive, we live in homes, and so on. But here again, within that all, have specific communities who do some sort of certain activities like farming, as I said. Okay, so that is what I mean by community. Even we can say that us within a local neighborhood is also our community. Okay, so it's a broad perspective what I'm taking as a community.
Yes.
Secondly, when we think of a community, we can understand that what are our common activities, and so we can focus on that activities and see where these activities are emitting high carbon emissions. I mean, what are our activities where we need to focus so that we can make them low carbon and what are the tools and what are the technologies, what we need to think about them, and so on, and how we should move forward.
Yeah.
The one thing of climate change is something, that it is going to change over time. And
Mhm.
so as we change over time, the impact of our activities should also change. And so, going forward, we will have to be very much forward looking people, in a sense of understanding, okay, today what I have done is going to bring this impact. And so I should, and then if this impact happens, then what will be happening? So we need to be long-term thinking, but also, again, at every step, we will have to think. And also, it is not certain that, okay, if we are going to do this particular thing, and whatever we have thought about that it will bring an impact, it may change, because there are plenty of different factors affecting at the same time. In a sense of, we will then also have to be a system thinker.
Yeah.
So there is one thing that we have to be long-term thinking, and we have to think every step of our journey, every step of our activity, and we have to be system thinker. And what I mean by system thinker is, like, if, for example, if I start walking today, okay, instead of driving, I know that driving is one of the carbon emission activity I'm doing. So I want to change that. I want to become a low carbon in my travel. Then I start walking. Now, with that alternative, I will have to look that, is my health permitting? Is my roads where I'm traveling, are they commutable by walking? Can I reach in time? I will have to think all those issues around that, right? If I move
Yeah.
from one mode of travel to another mode of travel. And when I'm doing that, I will also have to think that, okay, how early I will have to move to walk, because that will be taking a long distance. Would I be able to, if I am tired or something, would I get any help in between? All sort of those things. But at the same time, that I will have to look at some positive things as well. That, okay, um, if I'm just walking 2 miles, then yes, they will improve my health. They will decrease my carbon emission. And so, for example, 2 miles up and 2 miles down, that is 4 miles. So I'm lessening the emission by 4 miles every day or per travel. And that will accumulate a lot to my decreasing my carbon emissions. So you have to think of plenty of things around all these. Again, when you are walking, you will have to think about the seasons, about the atmosphere around you, whether it is, like winter, summer, and so on. And how will be my exercise? I will have to buy, proper shoes to walk. I will have to wear proper clothes to walk, and so on. So that is called system thinking, that if you change just one component, that is, we are changing from car to walking, we have to think a range of other things are associated with it, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I mean by system thinking. So now, when I am saying that, okay, community's carbon calculator, I want to focus on the systems thinking, one thing at the community level. And now within the community, I also want another thing, which is called multi-level stakeholders.
Yeah.
In a community, we have authority who does all regulation or make decision and so on. We have end users who are working in ground, having small and big enterprises or having some knowledge and so on. And there are some experts who are having more knowledge and they know how to do it and so on. So there are, I believe we can broadly uh, distinguish our community players in three sections. One is individuals, like me and you, individuals, and then organization level, that is if I'm associated with university or
Yeah.
organization, then that is at organization level, and inter-organizational level, that is like global level or at a national level, right? So
Yes.
that is called multi-levels perspective, and there would be several actors in this area, right? There are different areas at different levels depending on their different specific reality in their context. Even the location plays a role here, even the societal construction play a role here, that what type of, we have found that people's mindset and the society construction in developing countries, developed countries is different. In different continent, it is different. We are also influenced by cultural, these influences. So there are plenty of other factors also influencing our behavior, our
Yeah.
decision making for climate change, understanding of our climate change, and so on. I'll stop here, but we can continue with whatever questions comes to your mind.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Anika. That was very insightful and very informative as well. And yeah, maybe there is one thing I would like to hear your thoughts on marginalized community. Uh, what is your thoughts about the inclusivity in climate change policy itself when it comes to prioritizing the marginalized communities, and also how can we effectively reach the skeptics community and also the unengaged? Because as we know that yeah, the climate change awareness is increasing with time, but also we witness also there are some kind of community that are still a little bit either isolated, or they are skeptical about whether this is a fact or not, something like that. How do we yeah, tackle this challenge?
That is very important question. Thank you. Yes, everywhere, again, in a community, we are a community of, as I said, of different actors, and there are always pockets of people who are vulnerable, and we have to make it possible to include them within the mainstream. We have to take them along, isn't it? And
Mm-hmm.
how we reach them, that is a big question, in not only for climate change, but even in a traditional society. This has been a very big question, and especially it aggregates the vulnerability of such people or such a group of people. It aggregates, when it comes to climate change, because one, they may not be, or their issues may not have been already addressed. For example, especially if we say woman, and especially if woman with small child or pregnant woman, uh, how we will deal with their issues when it comes to climate change. They are not ready. I mean, physically also they are not so compatible compared to other group of people, and also they have plenty of responsibility along with the child. They have several issues. I mean, so that is where I think what we should be doing, that we should be reaching out proactively
Mm-hmm.
to bring their voices up, and uh, having some support system, so that representatives of those communities can be heard. And especially at, as you mentioned about our global sustainable futures network, you
Mm-hmm.
know my network initially was, like, I initiated this network out of the need to provide an open platform to global south
Yeah.
early career researchers.
Yeah.
I was also early career researcher in 2016, and when I came out of with my doctorate, I found plenty of challenges. And I thought to myself, though I have been experienced, I am, of a mature student, and with plenty of other resources such as a better university, a developed country, and so on. And if I face such problems, then what might these global South people might be facing? So
Yeah.
that was one question. Also, we have seen from the climate change experiences that though the climate change has been mainly, influenced by the carbon emissions from the developed countries, the impact, severe impact or negative impact, it has been experienced by the global South. And so I wanted to see how we can increase their capacity
Yeah.
to, engage with other researchers around the world and exchange their dialogue and increase their capacity to understand the issues of climate change, but also to provide, solutions. Uh, and why I say solutions, because culturally, many of the countries have been doing something like indigenous people, they have been connecting with nature a lot, and they have been restoring or preserving and restoring their nature naturally by nature-based solutions and so on. And that has, uh, I think those examples are also need to be explored, that how we can adopt them and become low carbon, but also increase our biodiversity and other any practices that might be better than what we are doing. So uh, so I thought that, okay, let me open this platform, bring these people so their voices are heard. And now today we do, monthly summits,
Yeah.
which are hosted by global South nations. And uh, again, this is an innovative program that we have started, meaning we have 6 themes in a summit, and we invite a local organization to lead on these themes. And the themes like we focus on, for example, in Pakistan, soil is a big issue. So we focused on soil. And so we had, soil and agriculture, soil and built environment, soil and women, soil and youth, and so on. And we wanted to increase their, this knowledge exchange capacity, or at least be aware of what the dialogues are going on in their community and how we can, improve the conditions of these communities, condition in a sense of build their capacity to address their, issues.
Yeah.
Like that in Nigeria, we had peace building, then we had renewable energy, and so on, which are very hot topic, going beyond oil and so on. So that is what we focused in Nigeria. So this is how I am trying to bring, learning and knowledge exchange capacity to the local nations. But at the same time, we are inviting global people to talk on that, so that there could be an exchange of some best practices. They can collaborate and they can develop, their programs going forward. So that is what we do. So I would say that we have to make conscious programs,
Mhm.
or conscious, opportunities. We have to create opportunities for these people, vulnerable people, to come on board and
Yeah.
talk about their issues. And at least how we have to see how we can accommodate, and how we can provide them any constructive solutions. Thank you.
Amazing. Wow. That's really, really impressive to me, Dr. Renuka, and inspirational as well because how you initiate this, I mean, you created this GSFN and now you would like to focus on the global South nation because I think that most of the time in many cases they are a little bit neglected in some ways, I feel. But yeah, your initiatives, I think it really kind of like bring the light out of the darkness, something like that. I kind of
Yes.
feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, that exactly promote the inclusivity in terms of the climate change awareness, and also bring this marginalized community to also feel heard, feel recognized and valued, to be, yeah, to be part of the climate change awareness initiative, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
the next one, as we know that we are now in the modern technology, especially with the artificial intelligence. How do you see this artificial intelligence contribute to our climate resilience efforts?
I completely agree that it is a hot topic and
Yeah.
very, very important to be discussed. This is such a interesting, but also a bit uh, troubling problem, in the
Yeah.
sense of AI promises a lot of potential to increase climate change. I mean, increase the understanding of climate change, and for example, with the AI and other Earth observation, GIS, and other developments, technology developments, we will be able to gather the data which we have never been able to. So one thing, that is data collection, and also to analyze them for our better understanding and informed decisions. So it is going to bring a lot of potential to people. I
Mhm.
completely agree that.
Yeah.
However, when I hear an example of, say, I added AI solution to my practice, and so now I don't need two people to work. And I think that is I definitely shout out, okay, then shut the AI then. Because, you know, uh, job losses cannot be a valuable option to what we are achieving.
Yeah.
In a sense of, I want to also understand then going forward that what is the value of technology and the anti-value of technology. I mean, when there is a positive experience, then I would say it is a value for the society and for anyone else, right?
Yeah.
And if it is not a positive experience, then I would say it is anti-value. So how we then balance this value and anti-value of AI, how we then accommodate those, for example, the job losses, because the job loss is not associated with one person, it is with the whole family. It is about the atmosphere it creates after the job loss to the family and the environment within they are. It's such a problem that how you then motivate them to go back to the work or change their skill and so on. So uh, before having, it might happen that the people who have lost the job would again grow and get into that. But how we can stop that deep between the one job and the another?
Mhm.
It should be a smooth transition, and how we then support, or how we can create a support system for skill development or change of job and so on. And that is still not been recognized or not been applied in practice. And so every day I hear that, okay, one or the other, where like 1,000 people have lost job, or 2,000 or 20,000 or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Huge number of job losses are going on. And uh, of course the demand for other skill development uh, is also there, but how we then transfer this skill to another is a big challenge. And another thing is that, with AI, uh, AI models are trained
Yeah.
based on traditional knowledge, traditional data, and there are many, many errors in traditional data. And so are we then again duplicating or exponentially increasing those errors within our analysis? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, the solution provided by AI, how trustworthy they are. And that is also a big issue to be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Renuka. And perhaps the next question, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the innovative funding, because we know that our climate initiatives, they are not free in terms of, yeah,
Exactly.
it needs the funding. And what innovative financing mechanism that in your opinion show more sustainable or promising?
Again, this is again a very big debating issue. Traditionally what we have been doing, that someone would invest money and we identify some product or services that are contributing to whatever the objective we want, and so in that way we would get the returns, isn't it? So that is the
Yeah.
traditional model. Again, the another traditional model is about philanthropy, in a sense of, if I have a charity, like, I mean, mine is not a charity, mine is a social enterprise, in a sense of it is a community interest company
Mm-hmm.
who acts as a secretariat to the big network, and the network is totally free and devolved. I mean, we do not have any mandatory structure or mandatory requirement in the network. And why that is so? Because I want to invite everyone to the network, in a sense of I don't want to limit anyone by joining the network. The only limitation today I have, again, I'm trying to address it, but I have is that if someone do not have an online access or internet access, then they may not be able to connect with me directly. But now, from this year, I have seen the change. The local coordinators, like the coordinators who are with me in GSFN, are going now locally, and they are connecting with local universities and local citizens, and they are forming hubs and groups to advocate climate change. So I am trying to build a hybrid network, and that is working. And I think by the end of this year, we will get. Today, I have 4 networks. Hybrid hubs. They might grow well. Again, whenever we have these summits, we always ask them to connect with online only, and not travel at all, meaning that we want to lessen the travel, we want to lessen the computer use also, and so we are trying to make it low carbon. Having said that, coming to finance, uh, I feel that philanthropy, in a sense of donation from, say, uh, uh, anyone, for example, like oil company investing in renewable energy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that is very good, okay. But when they are putting this investment in renewable energy, are they also looking into their employees who have been trained in oil and gas industry, how they deal with this renewable industry, how the transfer of skills take place? Are they taking the whole organization, I mean the capacity, with along with employees to that sector?
Yeah.
That is important to see. Another thing, if I was looking at my charity, right? So charities sprung up now. Nowadays, charity sprung up everywhere with saying that, okay, we will do the advocacy of climate change and all that. However, they are funded by people who have earned money
Mm-hmm.
traditionally and never thought about this vulnerability and equality, equity, and so on. And so I don't know how fair is
Yeah,
uh, taking money from them, because they have been the root cause of inequality.
exactly. Yeah.
And okay, I would like to have their money, no problem in that, but are they again reducing inequality in themselves, or they just giving me money and then keep doing the business as usual? So I'm in that problem at the moment, that how, so I would like to assess their performance first and see, okay, they are doing enough to reduce inequality, and inequality in all sense, I would say. It might be social inequality, it might be environmental inequality, it might be economic inequality. So I'm talking about all inequalities, and if they are doing enough, and then they are transferring that money or transferring their investment to others, then that is a good case.
Yeah.
Another, what I feel, that there should be innovative model which is called like sharing economy.
Mm-hmm.
We collectively come together and see what the investment is needed, how we can change our resource of investment, in sense of, I'm investing today to talk to you, right? My time is invested here,
Yeah.
and otherwise I could have done my another work, right?
Yeah.
But I feel that the impact of my investment here would be more compared to what I might be doing alone. So that
Mm-hmm.
is where we need to think that what impact my investment is going to bring, and how then I can move or mobilize my investment from one area to another, where it will make more sustainable impact or equitable impact. And I believe every investor, whether it is investment of resources, whether it is investment of time, or any other investment, they should think that what is my impact, and then allow that investment. So I'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Renuka. Perhaps last but not least, but we only have 3 minutes now. Despite challenges, because we know that the human is complex and our environment also, the problems and everything, they are beyond complex. But despite all of
Yes,
this complexity, what gives you hope for the future amidst climate change?
I'm very, very hopeful that the message what we want to say to people, that invest right and also act right and act now. That is what I want to say. And
Yeah.
I think the what you say, collective voices are increasing, and the number of voices are so much increasing every day, day by day. And that will definitely, I'm hopeful that we will be able to make change very I mean collectively, and also in a short time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Renika. It's been a very inspiring talk with you, and thank you so much for sharing your experiences, your wonderful insight with us today. And that concludes our episode today. Stay tuned for more stories of compassion and advocacy in the episodes to come. Until next time, remember, kindness is contagious, so let's keep spreading it far and wherever you go.